Hello everybody, welcome back to the HalfTorqued podcast. Today, we have a very, very special guest.
Me.
In fact, nope, not you. It's actually our first special guest on the HalfTorqued podcast. So we welcome John Smith.
Hello everybody.
Owner of JD Customs. We talk about this brand a lot, so I'm sure you guys know what it is, but give us a little a rundown on what your company is and who you are.
What are you guys?
I am the owner of JDCustomsUSA. This is the shop that we've been working in for the past almost 3 years.
Beautiful, by the way.
It was
Yes.
awful to build. It was
Really?
literally the most stressful time of my life.
Really?
Like it was bad.
Like the shop or the company itself?
No. Just building the facility
Okay.
was so bad.
Is it because you were still like working out of this place, or like
We were working out of my house.
just out of the house?
Yeah. So I bought the house in 2019, and it was at the time it was just me. I was doing everything. I had one part-time under-the-table employee that helped with ignition systems and packing orders every now and then. But when COVID hit and everyone was stuck at home, getting free money and had their project cars, we blew up. It was crazy. I was really afraid when COVID hit that we were going to see a really huge drop in orders and all that stuff, but it was the opposite for us. So I ended up hiring Paul, who's the first official payroll employee. And then a couple months later, I had to hire another one, and then another, and now I think we have 8.5.
Do you think? Wait, hold on. Half?
Well, I have one guy, so it might be 9.5. So I've got one guy that started full time, but then he's in college, so he's
okay.
he's working
Okay.
part time, so I guess that's a half.
Yeah.
And then
Person.
got Daniel's brother, who is just part time. He's in college also, and he just wanted to make some extra money on the side, and a little extra help never hurts. So
Of course.
yeah.
So, we like to start off with what got you into cars, what cars have you owned, kind of give us your car journey, because I'm assuming you started as a car enthusiast before.
Yeah, I was a car guy before I could even drive, a long time before that. I built little model cars. My favorite one that me and my dad built, I was probably 8 or 10 years old, was a red Ferrari F40.
Oh, nice.
And I still have that. I think it's sitting in the office somewhere.
Nice.
Yeah, so started off with that, and then I obviously got into car racing games and stuff, and I had subscriptions to Motor Trend and Road and Track, and I've got a whole ton of boxes of those just saved. I've got a bunch of older ones from the 60s and 70s for my grandpa. So kind of started off, my grandpa was the owner of Western Auto.
Gotcha.
So my dad was a car guy. He owned Mobile Vibrations, which you probably never heard of. He installed custom car stereos and stuff like that.
Nice.
So he was kind of a car guy, and then
Yes.
I kind of got into cars. And then my first car I got when I was, how old was I when I drove in Germany? Yeah, so I got my first car when I lived in Germany. It was a 2003 Dodge Neon SXT, not an SRT4. Didn't really have much of a choice at the time. Got a good deal on it. It was a 5-speed, could not drive 5-speed, but I learned really quick. My dad took me to a hill, and I learned real quick, and then I drove myself to work later.
That's what I learned.
Yeah, then I started doing little things to the Dodge Neon, I put an air intake on it, and I found an electric supercharger. Yeah, wired it in, and it was pretty much just like an exhaust fan or something. It probably hurt power more than it made, but yeah, it was before I really knew what a turbo was and all of that kind of stuff. I put underglow lights on the car, and I put a sub in the trunk, and just had lights all over it. I like lights, so you can see lights in here, lights on the Supra. So yeah, that was my first car. So I ended
It's
up.
crazy you were in Germany and you bought a Dodge.
Yeah.
That is kind of
Yeah.
odd.
What's the chance that you buy an American brand in a different country?
Well,
Why were you in Germany?
I moved there with my parents whenever I was 12, I think, 12 or 13, in 2001, and lived there for 6 years.
What for?
So my mom was a Department of Defense school teacher,
Oh, wow.
and my dad was a minister to the military pastor for a church there that needed a pastor. Their pastor went on vacation and just didn't come back. So
Oh, gosh.
yeah, so it was kind of a dual purpose thing there in Germany, and my parents were actually there until I think it was two years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I lived without them for a long time.
Yeah.
That's
So yeah.
crazy.
Anyways, back to the car. I brought it back when I went to college in 2008, and then I had it for a while, and then I traded it for an SRT4, which was my dream car at the time.
Oh, wow. I was going to ask what your dream car was.
At the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was an experience, a learning experience for sure. I found the SRT4 on eBay in Texas, and I bought it without even seeing the car in person or pretty much anything about it.
Where were you at in the
details.
United States at that point?
I was in Cleveland, Tennessee.
Okay, gotcha.
That's not far from here.
No, not too far. And that's where it was until 2019, end of 2019. That's when I bought the house and moved from there.
Gotcha.
So yeah,
I guess that's about the time you and I started talking, like somewhere around in there.
probably.
I don't really remember how we became friends. Like, it was just one day where we were having conversations. I don't really remember what
I
happened.
can't remember either.
I don't remember. And then
Was it like online? You guys didn't do the car show?
Yeah, that's what it was. And I don't remember what it was. And then I just started sending them all my money. And
It's easy to do for sure.
yeah.
Well, that leads me to the next question, which is like, how did you get into like titanium? Like, why titanium?
Very slowly.
Okay.
So back in 2015, when I got my Evo, it was nothing like it is now, as far as under the hood and all the titanium and stuff.
Sure.
So I went to a car meet with there was a few other people there with the Evos, and one of the guys was talking about how he made his own coil unplugged ignition system from Honda coils and from a junkyard, and he bought these connectors off the website and made his harness, and it makes a lot more steady power and it doesn't have boost. What do you call it? Boost blowout. Boost.
It blows the spark out.
Yeah, spark blowout. Yeah. Yeah. So he told me about that, and I was like, I'm gonna make one for myself. So I got online and I bought some coils off of Amazon and bought the connectors and the wire harness, or the wires to make the harness, and pieced it all together and put it on the car, and it worked great. And then I just posted on Facebook like, hey, I made one of these. It's really easy to do. And then I had a couple other people like, hey, can you make me one? It's like, sure. So this guy came over to my house. I sat there and kind of showed him how to make it, and I was kind of relearning, teaching myself again how to make it because I only made one before.
Yeah.
So I was following instructions, made it for him, and then word kind of just spread, and then more people were wanting them. And kind of backtrack a little bit. I started JDCustomsUSA with powder coated Yeti cups, and this is one of my original ones that I made for myself a long time ago.
That's crazy. I didn't know that you did powder coating.
I did. I hate it. Yeah.
Fair.
It's very tedious work.
It is.
And so I don't know if you guys remember back in, I think it was 2015, when there was a truck that caught on fire, and there was a Yeti sitting in the center console.
Yeah.
Full of ice.
Oh yeah.
And the Yeti still had ice in it when they put the fire out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when the Yeti cup thing blew up.
Yep.
People were going crazy over them.
Yeah.
So I had a,
You're like what? 4?
It's 5, but yeah.
really?
No. No, I was born 2003, so I don't really know. What was that maybe? 7.
You don't know how old you are?
I know how old I am now. I wasn't
How old are you right now?
21.
Are you sure?
I think so. I don't know. I'll have to check.
I forget how old I am sometimes. So
I don't.
It just happens.
How old are you, man?
23?
43.
40. It's a double the age.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, but I had a neighbor that wanted to get his wife a special Yeti cup for Christmas. So he asked me if I could powder coat one. I was like, it's stainless steel, probably. So I got a jack stand, and I put the cup upside down on the jack stand, and I got this really cool emerald green, sparkly powder coat color, and I sprayed it, put it in the oven, and it came out really good.
Yeah.
So she got that for Christmas, and then she started showing people, and then more people started asking me, and I was like, I guess I could just go to Ace Hardware and buy this cup, and then just charge for the price of the cup plus the custom services and stuff. So that's kind of where it started. And then, of course, when I started making enough money to get in trouble with the government if I didn't report it, then I would get a business license and all those kind of things. So when I wanted to start getting into making car parts and stuff, I already had a business license, so I just used that to apply for different distributors.
Right.
Like Motivicity, which is not around anymore. They got bought by Turn 14 years ago.
Oh, wow.
It was one of the first ones. And so I started listing just dropship parts on the website. And on the side, I was making the ignition systems, and I would sell the do-it-yourself kit, and I'd sell the fully assembled kit. And at the time, I didn't even have carbon fiber mounting plates or anything on it. I got carbon fiber vinyl and wrapped a stainless steel plate, and that was the carbon fiber for a while. And then someone said, hey, you should make real carbon plates. I was like, okay. So I have the design, so just had to have the carbon ones made.
Yeah.
So then it's kind of started building. The one that's on the car now is nothing like the original one that I built. They're so much nicer, and they're definitely one of the best-selling ignition systems for Evos on the market. continuously for years. I got lots of tuners that stand behind it. It's like, yeah, yours is the best. Car comes in with that. We're not gonna have problems with it for sure.
Wow.
That's cool. Yeah. So, anyways, back to how titanium started. So I had a customer reach out and say, hey, if I get one of your ignition systems, could you put titanium hardware on it? It's like, probably. So I got online, found a supplier, and bought a very small batch of just M6x25 bolts, locking, nylon locking nuts, and some washers. And I made that an option on the website, and that was before I even really knew what I was doing with coloring, with anodizing it. I actually have an original packet of gold anodized hardware back in the shop over here. That was one of the first ones that I messed around with coloring.
Wow, awesome.
Yeah, and I was just Googling and YouTubing how to anodize titanium, and I found people with knives that were anodizing knives and stuff like that, and I kind of just, by trial and error, figured out how to make it look pretty.
Wow.
And then it just kind of started building from there. I had someone ask, strut tower nuts. I was like, sure. I found the size and ordered some of those, and then it just starts building. Yeah. One of the really big advantages I had was I worked at the time I worked full-time at Brown Stove Works, which is in Cleveland, Tennessee. It's a appliance manufacturing company. I was in quality control. I was a quality control manager for a few years there. And when I started, I had no idea what quality control was. Like the meaning in general, I was like, what is this? Like, but they needed someone that, and it helped because I had powder coating experience, because they powder coat, ceramic coat stove parts and stuff. Sure. So I was friends with a guy in the engineering and design department, and so I asked, like, hey, can you design me a cam sensor heat shield? And then I found some scrap stove parts, like stove metal, and then that's where I was making the components for the ignition system, the mounting plates, and the cam position sensor heat shields for a while. And I was powder coating them in my basement in Cleveland.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, and then it just kept going from there, just building it up.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
And now
and
I have half my paycheck just directly deposited into his account.
yeah, yes.
That's so crazy to me, because, I mean, you have people who think it's so impossible to start a business, which obviously it's a very, very tough thing, and I'm sure that it's been incredibly stressful, and obviously,
Yes.
but just the fact that it can start, everything starts in the garage somewhere, you know what I mean? And so it's so, take that to heart, guys, that it's you gotta start somewhere.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's better to start than just have an idea and never do anything.
Yeah.
We'll start somewhere.
What if we think of it this way, though? All of this came from a Dodge Neon SXT.
that's really
SXT.
unfortunate. Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, man.
I just started recording on the mics. That's such a bummer, dude.
No, you didn't.
100%.
Oh man.
That's fine. It's fine.
So,
There's our.
hi, I'm John.
Yeah, seriously.
There's our error.
It's fine. We got the camera audio.
We got
Do
plenty
we?
of time. We can start over.
No, that's okay. We're good. God, it's such a bummer, dude. It's my second time doing that, too.
This is Jeremy Ray Taylor, everybody.
Well, it's because we started recording and then we stopped recording and then we
is
started
that-
recording.
okay, so it's our fault, not yours.
So tell us a little bit about that. Like, how was it starting the business, and at what point was it like, whoa, this is something, and it's not just like my basement anymore? I mean,
Yeah. So it started off as just a way for me to make money on the side. Anything extra helps, and it was fun. I liked making little things. I like making wire harnesses and doing things with my hands. I loved working on cars at one point, and that's not the fact anymore. Just the pretty stuff, the cool stuff.
Yeah.
I don't like to dig into a motor anymore. It's like, nah, let somebody else do that.
Yeah.
I got more fun things to do.
Yeah.
What was the question?
I mean, how was it starting the business, and what was the moment of like, this is something? Like,
It
this
seems
is
like
Gotcha.
you picked the right thing to come in with that wasn't like a real popular thing already. Like you brought this thing to market, basically.
There
is
was
what it seems
a
like.
couple other businesses that were doing the ignition systems at the time. But
Yeah.
for me, I thought their stuff was a little overpriced.
Yeah.
So I started selling mine for a lot less. But then as the quality and the components started getting better, then we're pretty competitive with the pricing still. And I think there's really only one or two other ignition system companies that make them. I guess we're the top one right now.
Yeah.
Do you
As far as I
still
know, we still sell a ton of them.
Okay,
I've
that's
got
what I
one
was about to
guy.
ask.
I got one guy. His job is to make ignition systems.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I saw that back there. Like we went through, he kind of gave us a tour, man. It's pretty sick. It looks a lot better in our shop.
Yeah, definitely. The painted walls even just is better than my OSB.
Yeah.
Um,
But it gets the job done.
oh yeah, no, whatever. What's the biggest like lesson that you've learned when, starting from such a small business to something this massive? What was the biggest piece of advice that you could give to someone who was trying to do something like you were
What
doing?
would you say to yourself when you were first starting?
Yeah.
Like, knowing what you know now, if you could go back then to little Johnny.
That's hard. I don't know. There's a lot I would say to myself. No, there's a lot. I don't really know. I would just have a long conversation. Just
Are you
do
sure
it.
you want to do that?
Yeah.
Don't
right.
build the shop.
Like everything happens for a reason. I'm
Yep.
a firm believer in that, and everything just kind of lined up perfectly for me, because if I wouldn't have worked at Brown Stove Works, I wouldn't have had like the side of being able to make my own parts. Just to start off super slow, I would have had to have more investment in parts to be made. But these parts this guy was making from scrap metal, it was nice parts, and I powder coat them so they look good, but they cost me time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much
That's
all.
it.
So I had very little investment to get the business started, and then I just, I kept working at Brown Stove Works until April 1st, 2019
Wow.
is when I quit to be full time with JD Customs. So it took 4 years of just grinding on the side with having a full time job, being able to support myself with just JD Customs for 4 years. So
Do you have
Look
like
at you now.
Yeah, right? Do you have like a favorite thing that you've ever made for someone? Or I'm sure you get a lot of crazy requests and stuff, so.
tons of cool stuff.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know. Custom trading cards are really cool.
Those
Oh,
are
yeah,
neat.
those
Yeah,
are
the
super
Post
cool.
Malone thing was awesome.
Oh yeah, that was super cool.
That was really cool.
That made my year. It was
And
like,
the Elon Musk thing,
yeah, this is going to be going to Elon Musk hopefully soon.
I want to see him holding that up or something.
Oh,
like
that'd be
that.
sick,
That'd be
yeah.
so awesome.
If he posted something with either the trading card we made him or the desk plaque, we'd probably like blow up overnight.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
and then we can
Crazy.
ride on his coattails because we're doing the podcast.
Exactly, yeah. Like,
Yes.
we're the thing that made him blow up.
Yeah,
for
it's
sure.
us,
Yeah,
man.
totally.
Elon
Right.
watches this. He's a subscriber. Hey,
Yeah,
Elon,
100%.
That's
What's up,
awesome.
man? Good,
Cool.
good buddies.
Yeah.
hate your trucks.
One of our 200 views.
Yeah. Let's not talk about the Cybertrucks.
Yeah.
Let's. God, we saw so
We
many
saw-
on the way here.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've been seeing a few of them around town too. Most of them are not even like the stainless steel. They're stainless steel or
Yeah. I
I
aluminum.
think, yeah, they're saying the steel.
Most of them are. I've seen a black one and a white one. They're all wrapped.
Yeah, there's a black one up where we live. I see all the time. But the
Mm-hmm.
two that we saw driving on the way here, they were both still stainless.
I saw one the other day. It looked like a 2-year-old just like with their fingerprints all
I
over
can't
it.
imagine
It was
keeping that thing
awful.
clean, dude.
The only one I like is the one that's done up to look like the Warthog from Halo.
That was cool.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's awesome. This is weird for me, by the way.
I believe it, yeah.
Like, yeah.
That's why I didn't want to be in the
This is
middle.
why you put me in the middle.
Pretty much, yeah.
I get it. It's a matte sandwich.
Yeah.
That's kind of sandwich. So I like the Cybertrucks that are like, I'm going to
course
get
you do.
flamed for this.
Yep,
I know.
you are.
It's so stupid. But
Yep.
like, I saw like a matte satin blue one. I thought that was really cool, like a really dark navy blue.
Definitely grab your attention.
They definitely, yeah.
True, but that's not always a good thing.
All publicity is good publicity.
Is
That's
it?
what they say, right?
Is it?
I mean, it's what they say.
Why do you censor what I say on here then?
Because that's not a true statement. Do you ever plan on making like performance parts from JD Customs, like exhausts or charge pipes or anything like that?
Yeah, I'd love
You've
to.
done some, right? Intakes. I know that.
Yeah, we've made some. They're not fabricated in house.
Okay.
Because we don't have the space.
Okay.
Right.
yeah.
So we have all this,
Yet.
all the skills. I have a guy that can weld titanium, and obviously have people that can anodize titanium very pretty, make it really nice looking. But
Definitely.
we don't have the space. When I built this place, I didn't realize how much space fabrication would take up. So in our next location, which is going to be way bigger than this,
Wow.
we do plan on getting into like intercooler piping, intakes,
Heck
and
yeah,
radiator
nice.
piping, strut bars, and all the stuff that people have been asking for years. And we're like, I mean, I could make it, but I would rather be able to, fabricate them in house and
Yeah.
color them the way we want, all that stuff.
That'd be amazing.
All that stuff's out there. You can buy it. You can find it somewhere. But I like to, do all that stuff in house. So it's
Yeah.
like,
Well, your
our
your
actual
stuff
art
is second to none when it comes to just the quality and everything that I've seen,
Absolutely.
and that's why I keep buying it.
Well, that's my next question too, because like, you do have a plan to expand? Because like, where do you see the company in the future? Do you?
I don't know. 5 years ago, I was working in the basement of my house by myself, and
Yeah.
now
Now you're talking
Here
to
and-
two idiots in their garage.
I don't know. It's hard to tell where we'll be in the next 5 years.
Oh
But
man, you're going to be running things.
like every year, we make better connections with bigger people, like
Elon
you
Musk.
guys. Or,
Us.
I guess I could say.
Us or Elon, I guess.
Yeah,
hand in
same,
hand.
and then there's Post Malone down here somewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, first year we went to SEMA. We went just to see the cars and hang out because car business owner, you can go to SEMA. The second year is when my wife was pregnant and I couldn't go and possibly miss the birth of my twin girls.
Nah.
So I didn't go. But was it last year? No, 2 years ago. I don't know what year it is. Anyways, we have multiple cars that we sponsor at SEMA now. So we have a more of a reason to actually go to SEMA to see those builds. And we're working with more and more more well-known people in the car industry and shaking hands with, famous people, like people that can help us get to better places. So it's good about making connections.
Yeah.
So outside of Post Malone and soon to be Elon, who is like the biggest name that you have parts on right now?
Parts on their car?
Or just, any kind of ties with like that from your business?
I don't know who the biggest one would be. I mean, I think Jeremy probably has the most followers, if that's what we're going by on.
Jeremy who?
This guy.
You have, really?
Yeah, I have like at least 5 on Instagram.
Yeah, I think you have the most followers of anyone.
Really? That's
Yeah.
awesome. Well, I'm honored.
I wish you hadn't said that.
Now my ego's just here
Now
all
I'm
the
going to
rest
hear
of the
it
day.
all the time.
Well, there's a lot of names I could spit out. A lot of people we've been working with for a long time, like Devin
Sure.
Amela. We've been working with him since, I think it was 2017.
Yeah.
So he started off getting one of our ignition systems, and then we started getting into titanium, and he has our stuff all over all of his builds, most of his builds.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
So do you have like a favorite car that you've worked on, favorite car that you've owned, and like obviously you have a couple.
I have a favorite of his,
Which is?
the Evo.
The Evo.
And obviously I'm a GTR guy, but I've had Evo and I've always loved that car.
Yeah.
I still have pictures of it
love
on my
that car.
computer. Oh, it's so beautiful.
It's funny every time someone asks me what my favorite car is, I tell them it's like picking my favorite kid. Like they're all different.
Oh, that's
I all
easy.
love them for different reasons. Yeah, the Evo is really raw power. There's like no computer assistance and all that kind of stuff. We're very minimal.
Yeah.
How much power does it make?
423.
Perfect.
It's a stock bottom end, and everything else has been
It's
upgraded.
so pretty.
I'm going to leave it that way because I've heard that's the most reliable way to keep an Evo on the road.
Yeah.
Just
Or
not mess with the bottom
G63s
end.
are not known for reliability. That's for sure.
Really? Sorry.
At least not from the DSM world.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely not DSM world.
No, that's
know
where I
about
came
those
from.
DSMs.
You have a really good mix of cars here. That's for sure. And where did the white thing come from? Do you just like white cars, or was that like a
Whoa.
stop? Ends there, buddy.
So I think the GTR was the first white car, I guess, in this room that I bought.
Gotcha.
And it came with all of the gray, like side skirts and the front lip, and all the gray accents on it. And
Like mine.
I thought, I think carbon fiber would look better. Yeah. And then I put all the carbon, and it contrasts like almost like a dark black gray carbon color with white, and I think it's just a good contrast of colors. So
Yeah.
kind of stuck to it. And then
Yeah.
the Supra, that's all I did. It's like it's white in carbon.
Right. Yeah. Instead of black accents, you just do all carbon.
Yeah.
That's so much pressure, though. As soon as you buy a white car, it's like everything has to be switched. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love it.
So
though.
you
That's-
bought this one with the carbon on it already from
Yeah,
the factory.
exactly.
Just on the roof.
Yeah,
It's got
just
a
on
lot
the
more
roof.
stuff we're working on for it right now.
That's such a cool little car.
It is such a fun car. That is my favorite car to drive right now because it's easy to drive. It's got warranty and
Well.
it's stock ride height, and it's got the GPS and CarPlay, and
Yeah.
it's comfortable. It's a 6-speed.
Have you done anything to it yet?
I put a Go Fast Bits blow-off valve and a K&N air filter
Yeah.
on it.
So people like the noise right up front.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it makes a little noise.
Yeah.
Barely had a little blow-off valve like psst. in the beginning, and now it's more like a psh.
Yeah.
It's crazy because the blow-off valve on his car with that big turbo, you can't hardly hear his.
Not at all,
That's
no.
why we're going to switch over to the HKS on it.
HKS has a pretty good sound too.
Yeah.
That's what I run on mine.
I love that sound.
With your hardware.
Yeah. Every time. Yeah, I have my little blow-off valve sitting in the front of the podcast all the time. I just haven't
Oh,
installed it.
the one you powder coated?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. Love that color.
That was my first JRT customs thing I've ever done, really.
JRT.
Yeah. I just taped it up with masking tape and painted it black.
He's so proud of his prep work.
I am proud of my prep work. I feel like
You
that's
should
like
be.
what I'm like decently good at. That's like my thing. Besides like engine building, I'm really good at that too. Can drop an engine really easily.
When have you
Prep
done
works
that?
half the work.
Your GTR? 2000 horsepower drag car?
I don't remember that.
Whatever, that's
Weird.
You were asleep.
Did you play one in a movie or something?
No, it's all real, man. It's all real. So what's the dream car? Like, what's the...
Ooh, good question.
If you could throw the JDC Titanium banner on any car, what are you throwing it on?
Like a dream car for me to own or a dream car
Yes.
for me to work on?
For you to own.
Oh man, there's so many cars that I really like. So,
We have this conversation all the time, and there's like
yeah.
the three different, like the attainable that like
Yeah.
I could maybe get it, and then the one that you want that you may never get. But
Elon Musk buys a company for $1 billion, and then I just go and get whatever I want. That'd
yeah,
be cool.
exactly.
Just remember us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a lot of people like, hey, remember?
Yeah,
me?
remember
Yeah.
me, man? I bought that koozie from you.
So Lamborghini Huracan has got to be one of my top ones. I used to have a Huracan fund that I was saving a little bit at a
Nice.
time. I give myself like 10 years to save up for it.
Yeah.
And then I had kids, and then we had bills, and then they're expensive. So I
Daggone
think it has like
kids.
$400 in it now, which is not going to get me much. And
You're getting there though.
it's 400.
Closer than a lot of people.
Yeah. There's a lot of other cars that I would like.
Of course, yeah.
It's hard for me to think of one of them right off the top of my head.
Yeah, so
And Hennessy Venom, I think.
Oh,
is
I
that'd
one
be
of my
wicked.
classic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
would be wicked.
Yeah.
For
I
sure.
just saw a video on those. It was like Hennessy in one, and dude, those things are wicked. And I feel like they're very, very under talked about for an American like hypercar.
Yeah.
Probably because there's just so few of them.
I guess so. Yeah,
Steven
they're very
Tyler
limited.
had one for a while.
Really?
Yeah, and that dude is built like one of these tripods. Like I don't know how he can keep his composure
Yeah.
driving something like that. But what's your, as far as Japanese cars go, what would be your, and don't just jump to everybody jumps to R34 GTR. Obviously, I think it's kind of globally accepted. What other car would you want? What's something niche that you would really like to have?
Talking like classic or
No, any kind of Japanese car. Like
R34. I don't know what else.
that's it. Yeah. That's,
okay, that's fine.
I've got it, the grandson right here. And
Yeah.
when they're legal and affordable, then maybe. I don't know.
Affordable. Yeah, we'll see,
I don't know
dude.
if
Yeah.
they'll ever be affordable, man. Unless you go for a GTT, but who wants to do that? You know.
I don't know.
I want to get a GTT and then just convert it to GTR and
There's a company in Singapore or something like that. They do that. I was Larry Chen did a video on it. I was watching it in the shop one day. I don't remember where you were, but they can't like legally import cars at all now into. I think it was Singapore. So these people will take GTTs and they will literally do every nut and bolt to make it an exact replica of a GTR for people. It's expensive.
I bet.
Yeah.
Just buy a GTR.
Right.
Yeah.
But they can't get them.
But
That's
they
the
can't.
thing.
They can't.
Yeah. Like there's literally no way to bring one in legally now, which is awful.
So is that not like frowned upon at all? Because you're not like, is that not up badging, or is that you're really just
I don't know.
because if you're doing the whole thing, then I guess it's not up
I
badging. You're
guess.
really just
I mean, at some point, they're like prisoners, I guess, man. You know,
Yeah.
the prisoners learn to make alcohol, so these guys are just doing what they can to have a GTR.
Yeah.
And, but just think about that, though. Like, if you're stuck in this place with these kinds of cars, right? And if you can't get one, if something happened to your Evo, that's it. Like,
Yeah, that would not be fun.
right? Like, you would not be able to have that car again or fix it.
I think I'd probably just accept it and not try to go get a Lancer and make it an Evo. Because
Yeah.
it's probably more money to
Get a
do that
Lancer,
than just
yeah.
get another enjoyable card.
man. But if you love them like that, I mean, R34 is hard not to pass up if you have the money for
Unless
it
you're my
anyway.
wife.
True, yeah. A lot of people don't like them, and it took me a minute. Whenever I was first getting into cars, chill out. You know this.
This is before your LASIK.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It took me a minute to get in them because obviously, like, when you're first getting into cars, classics are looked down upon because they're classics, and
It's weird to think that an R34 is considered a classic at this point.
definitely a classic. Yeah. Were they in the 2000s?
Yeah, they stopped making the R34 in,
2004?
I don't think it went that long.
I think it was 2002.
Yeah, I think
Three,
something
maybe?
like that. Yeah.
I mean, if it was before I was born, then it's got to be a classic, right?
Like
no.
that?
Yeah, exactly.
What the?
No, dude. R34s are definitely like the pinnacle of JDM.
Anything
think.
JDM, yeah.
But I think it's one of the prettiest cars ever made, really. 'Cause,
I agree.
But it definitely, like I said, it was taking me a minute to get into them. But once you can like start to appreciate the beauty of it, and oh man, yeah, they're gorgeous.
I
And
just
so
keep
many good
hoping my
colors.
wife one day is just, I don't know, maybe gets kicked in the head by a mule or something, and
Yeah,
she starts to think that these things are pretty, but I just don't get it.
Kaylee finally understood it whenever we went to Slammed. We
Oh,
saw
when she
that
saw the
green
one,
one.
yeah.
Mhm.
I thought it was a GTR. Is it M-Spec?
M-Spec or something like that.
Nerd.
But he was thinking that it was fake. Do you know anything about that car?
I don't know anything about that car.
Somebody told me it wasn't real because those are so very rare.
Those are multi-million-dollar cars if
Yeah.
they're real, because they only made
They're
very
like 50
few.
of them or something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, so
I don't like the color on it
he's
necessarily.
not a Millennium Jade guy.
No. I don't know. It's
I'm not really a big green guy either.
He
but
likes white. I don't know if you knew that.
really. I'm a big green guy. I just don't like the. I don't know. Like I don't. I wouldn't call it
a
pukey,
light
but
green, like baby
Yeah.
poop green.
yeah, baby poop.
Split soup.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Canada Dry or Canada Dry.
Canadian
ginger
Dry.
ale.
Yeah. No, see, that's the green I like.
That's a greener green.
Canada Dry green is good. But no, Kaylee hated R34s, and then she finally like saw that one in person. And that was a really good looking one.
It's
but-
kind of one of those that until you see them in person, I guess,
Yeah.
like you can appreciate it a little bit more.
right.
But-
And she was just getting into cars too, so it took her a minute to like appreciate classics in general.
Well, when she's got that twin turbo Huracan that she has.
Yeah, exactly.
you know,
It's still in the shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ever since I've known her, it's been in the shop. We've never.
For like 7 years. I don't know.
Never
We'll see
seen
if
it.
we ever get it back because it's totally real.
Jeez.
Not a real Lamborghini, unfortunately.
No, it's not
But it is though. In our heads and in our dreams.
hers.
Dreams.
Yeah, definitely dreams. What's next, man?
Oh. Let's see.
Do you have a product that is coming out soon that you want to unveil on the podcast? That'd be so
Yes, but I've got too many for me to remember. There's,
Oh,
There's
really?
always a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know one thing that we have pretty much ready to go is a titanium cooling shroud for Evo 456.
Nice.
I've had a lot of
That's
people
cool.
ask for it, and we have them. They're made. We've just got to get them installed and do a final test fit,
Yeah.
add them to the site, and all that kind of stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So is it scary to be in the car business where, obviously we're in the U.S. where people throw lawsuits around like crazy? Have you ever run in anything like that?
I got a cease and desist from Momo once.
Really?
So we make the titanium spoke overlay for Evos, and we sold them for years. And then I got an email one day saying, "Hey, this is whoever from Momo. This is a cease and desist. Don't put our logo on your stuff anymore." And I was like, I'm okay. I won't do anymore. But I thought I was doing you a favor by putting it back on the piece that's covering up the piece that has the Momo
Right.
on it. So I was just like, okay, that's fine. We'll just put our logo on it. That's
Yeah, that's fine.
Momo
Have you
won't be
ever
on there
gotten a
anymore.
cease and desist?
Me?
Yeah,
No.
I have.
Yes, you have.
Yes, I have.
Did you just ask me that so that I would ask you that?
I just wanted you to feel left out. Me and John
Oh, okay,
share
yes.
a bond now.
I'm glad, man.
I also had one from Brembo too.
Mine was from Porsche, which was
what?
a shirt, one of my shirts.
Because his logo was a direct rip off of Porsche. Literally the Porsche logo.
It's flipped and a little bit different.
I'll throw a picture up of his logo, and you
He'll
can tell me
forget.
if
He'll
I,
forget.
I probably will forget. to
He'll
put a picture.
forget.
Tell me if you think that's the Porsche logo or Matt's logo. We'll play a little game.
That doesn't matter. There's 11 people going to see it.
Yeah. So why did they send this into desist?
But we do have as much protection on our website as we think we could put, and I think it's pretty good for now.
Yeah.
There's a checkbox before you buy anything on the site, and if you read the terms and conditions, which most people don't,
Right.
we could probably put anything in there we wanted to.
Yep.
And people are not going to read it anyways. But we do have a section in there that says, I agree that any parts that I purchase from JD Customs USA are for off-road or track use only. And
Gotcha.
if I use them in a different way other than intended, then blah, 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 the JD Customs isn't responsible.
Right.
And then all the logos and stuff we make, it's like, we're not the owner of the trademarks. This is an aftermarket version of whatever. And yeah. So
Yeah.
But do
hopefully-
it.
Yeah.
Do it for sure. So I know the anodizing process is a little secret, so I don't want to pry too much. But can you tell us anything about anodizing? Because I know there's a few different
Yeah.
ways to anodize the titanium, obviously with fire, or electricity, or
There's a lot
Give
of
us all your
different ways.
secrets.
I will give you the stuff that you can find on YouTube.
Okay.
Like I did.
yeah.
But I can't reveal the secrets that makes our stuff just
fabric
one
softener.
notch higher. Of
course.
What? I said it's fabric softener.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's not. Somebody's going to try it now.
Yeah. Right. So I mean, walk us through that process, because what even?
I will do the best I can because it's really like scientific,
Yeah.
technical things. Like
way
I
above
don't-
your head,
I
Jeremy.
100%. Yeah.
can't really explain how it does it, but when you introduce electricity to titanium in water, you put the positive connection on a stainless steel plate that goes in the water. and then you put the positive connection on whatever you're anodizing, and when you dip it in the water, different voltages will give different colors. And
So
if you
cool,
dip it
man.
in at like, if you don't dip it in and leave it, you dip it in a little bit, the colors will kind of flow up because
Wow.
that plate right there.
Yeah.
So you see that plate, starting at the very bottom is bare.
Right.
That's no color. And then as you turn the voltage up, you go up the scale all the way to green. So we just
Wow.
adjust to different colors, different voltages to get different colors, and different gradients of different colors are made by just putting a part of it in for a certain amount of time, and that takes a lot of skill to get all of that right.
Yeah.
We have a couple special things that we use to make the colors more vibrant that I don't reveal.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's fabric softener.
The only titanium that we use a torch. I actually use my flamethrower that's sitting up in that window up there.
Awesome.
We take it to shows with us.
I
and it
was
gets a lot of
wondering where that
attention.
was. Yeah, that
it's
thing's
up
so
there.
cool.
I torch burn our Damascus shift knobs, the piston
Okay.
style Damascus shift knobs, because they're made of 2 grades of titanium, and they're molded and folded and pushed together a million times to make all the cool waves and stuff.
That's
Yeah.
so awesome.
So you have to use heat on that. We did try to anodize one, and it kind of comes out different colors, but mostly the same colors. But when you heat it up, I guess they color at different rates or different temperatures. So it gives the purple and blue and bronze and all the different mixed of colors in there that makes it really cool. But everything else is anodized because it's so much easier to control the colors, and you're not introducing a bunch of heat to a part
Right.
that might hurt the structural rigidity of it or whatever. It's just electricity and cool colors.
So that leads me to my next question with the rigidity. I've heard a lot of people talking about, like titanium versus steel exhaust and stuff like that. Do you know anything about, people saying that titanium exhausts aren't the right way to go because they're brittle, or, is that actually true, or
As
is
long
that?
as they're made right.
Okay.
Like, for example, I have Tomei on everything but this car in here right now. They use slide-on fittings and then springs. So
Okay.
you don't have welded flanges that you hit a bump and it's causing pressure on it or something
Sure.
like that. So I guess it gives a little more flexibility so it
Yeah.
doesn't crack.
Okay,
'Cause
gotcha.
So as long as
titanium-
it's quality, you're good.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, it works for Pagani.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's tons of
think
exotic cars that have full titanium exhaust.
Yeah.
And
Because they sound so much better.
yeah,
There's
because
the-
They do.
it's-
It does definitely
it's a different
change the
sound.
sound.
It's so
yeah.
strange that it can
Yeah.
change the sound like
Right?
that.
It's cool. Like brass, bronze, all these different
Mm-hmm.
metals they resonate at different frequencies,
Yep.
so it's going to sound different.
That's
It's really
true.
neat. Yeah.
Well, I guess that goes back to like
I'm smart.
instruments too, with like, yeah, you're so smart. When it goes back to like tubas and stuff like that, and you got like brass instruments, and
Yeah.
that's really cool. I wonder if they've ever made like a titanium tuba. That would sound different.
It'd be a lot easier to carry around.
Yeah, definitely.
really light, for sure.
Get
So
John to chase you with his flamethrower, and if you wanted to look a little better.
So, to someone who's new to titanium and is a skeptic, what would you tell them as to why would I replace my OEM bolts with titanium? Besides the fact that it looks dang good.
Yeah, they look super cool.
It just looks so much better.
Yeah.
It
really
does.
does.
It looks a lot better, and you don't have to worry about it rusting. Titanium
Right.
won't rust. There's only one way that I know of to make titanium rust, and that's by installing it into something that is already completely rusted. The rust can transfer to it,
Gotcha.
but
Can
other
it?
than that, it's not gonna rust.
That's really cool. That's interesting.
Yep.
Is there any kind of dissimilar metal like corrosion that can happen with titanium?
Not that I'm aware of. There's probably some. I just haven't had any customers have any issues with it.
Yeah.
I had a customer way back when I was just getting started with the titanium exhaust manifold studs. He installed them on a very rusty exhaust manifold and complained that the studs were rusting. I was like, that was the first time I ever heard of it. So I was like, I don't think titanium's supposed to rust. But then I later found out that it was
That's
because
really
the exhaust
interesting.
manifold was very rusty, and then it kind of transfers over.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really cool, man.
Yeah.
That's
But
Science.
other reasons are it looks super cool, and there's a ton of different colors that you can choose from. It'll never rust. It's very strong, and yeah, it's mostly the cool factor. People,
Yeah.
Weight
people buy
savings.
it. Yeah, it's a lot
Lighter,
lighter.
yeah.
It feels like
Lighter,
plastic.
stronger. It does. The very first time I ever held a titanium bolt in my hand, I was like, "There's no way this thing is
Yeah.
stronger than steel." It's
Like the lug
felt like a
nuts.
piece of plastic. It literally, I was like, "This
Yeah.
ain't real."
When we put the lug nuts on his Supra, I'm like, what?
yeah.
Like,
You really like don't want to drop it or anything like that. It feels
Yeah.
so scary to work with. Like I don't want to like turn it too hard or whatever, but like somehow it's stronger than this thing that's so much heavier
yeah,
than
so
it.
all
It's
of
really
his
crazy.
lug bolts on the Supra right now are at what, 2 foot-pounds?
Yeah,
Like,
pretty
holding
much,
the
yeah,
wheels
like 2 or 3. You don't want to break them,
You're not going to break them as long as you're using the right tools and not doing something
Yeah,
stupid.
yeah.
Oh, man, it looks awesome.
It does, yeah. No, titanium completely transformed the car, and I didn't know about titanium until you really, because you opened your engine bay and it was like, whoa, this is cool. I didn't even know what it was.
I'm like your biggest cheerleader out there.
Literally, yeah. And I was like, dang, like as soon as I get the next car,
we were trying to figure out stuff to do on the M8.
Yeah.
There was just literally nothing in there.
The engine bay is so
Boring.
packed tight and
Yeah.
boring. Like
Yeah.
there's nothing, which is funny because the Supra's a BMW engine bay too. But
Right.
but yeah, like the M8 had nothing on it, and then I got the Supra and I was like, I think the Supra's pretty easy to work on, obviously. So I was like, everything titanium I can get, I'm gonna do. I think that'd be awesome.
Yep.
And I was waiting until I found a black one too, because I really wanted the black with the titanium contrast. I thought it'd be really cool.
We were literally going to go and look at a stock one that was at a dealership.
Mm-hmm.
And I went home. I went home maybe 45 minutes. I get a message from Jeremy, and it's the one he has. And he's like, look at this one.
I was like, can we go
It was
tomorrow?
like 2 days later, we went and got it.
Yeah.
And that was awesome.
Because it was literally, I mean, I messaged that guy 30 minutes
You
after
were
it
the
was
first
listed.
person to talk to him about it.
Yeah, and
So-
he was like, I mean, you're the first guy, so like, you have it until you run out of time, basically. And then I just went to every single dealership ever and tried to sell that Mate. Got lowballed 100 times and sold that car for so little.
Man.
That was
but
a
it's
fun car.
the BMW. Yeah, man. But I'm loving the Supra. It's,
So your Supra was a SEMA car one year?
it was supposed to be a SEMA, but it was the year that it got canceled.
So I would have seen it if
Yep.
COVID.
Yes, yeah. I'll take his word for it. I mean, I guess I don't know if it was gonna go to SEMA. He could have just said that, but I think it was. At the time that Supras came out, I think it was SEMA worthy for sure.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it still is, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
Just like a roll cage and need to make that interior.
There's different levels of SEMA quality.
Right. Yeah, that
there's,
too.
There's ones that are at a multi-million-dollar booth that are super
it's called JDC.
crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely not. I can't afford a booth at SEMA yet. It's ridiculous.
Oh, I believe
Yeah.
it.
Booths are like $100,000.
Really?
For a good one, a good spot, a good place. It's not yet.
That's
You'll be there.
crazy.
You'll be there.
Eventually, yeah.
I didn't realize that they were that expensive. I mean, it makes sense, obviously, if it's SEMA,
How
but
many years until you'll have your own booth there?
Yes,
How many years?
eventually.
How you don't,
Don't
know?
even know.
You don't know?
No, it would have to be really worth going for sure.
Yeah.
Like it would be worth having our booth and displaying all that stuff there.
yeah.
For now, it's worth us going to just make new connections and
Get your
see
name
people
out
we've
there.
sponsored and all that kind of stuff. It's fun. It's a
And it's an
super fun
awesome car show, it looks
yeah,
like. So.
it is the best car show. Like our highlight of the year for sure.
Yeah.
We're
What's
all-
the craziest thing you've ever seen at SEMA? Have you ever been to SEMA? We need to go to SEMA. I really wanted to go this year, but
went
I
to SEMA.
couldn't make it.
Yeah.
What's the craziest thing you've ever seen at SEMA?
Some of the things I see at SEMA, I have no idea what they even are.
Really?
Yeah, I know there was one booth last year, and I think probably Daniel has a bunch of videos of it. But it was one booth. It was a wheel company. I don't remember the name of the wheels, but there was a Lamborghini. I think it was a Lamborghini Aventador, and it was full carbon, and it had 24 karat gold weave in the carbon body.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
And the wheels were like $30,000 or something, and that was one of like 8
Wow.
crazy cars that were at that booth. So you see
Wow, yeah.
the craziest stuff ever.
That's
at SEMA.
awesome.
Yeah.
So is it mainly modified cars, or do they have cars that like does McLaren come and show off the W1 or like?
No, there are. So Ford usually has a huge section.
Okay.
Like it goes from one side of the convention on the back wall all the way to the other
Oh,
side.
wow.
They have all of their the Ford Lightning truck was there last year. Subaru, Toyota for sure. I saw. I think I may have seen the Supra in 20. What year was that? The Supra, the 2020. I can't remember if I went to
I saw it
SEMA
in
2021.
I saw it in 18 at Detroit, but it was the
Okay.
FT1.
The concept, right?
Yeah, it had a golf
Okay.
cart motor in it.
Yeah.
Really?
That was cool. Yeah,
Just to move it.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Sweet.
I go to the Detroit Auto Show every year. It's pretty neat.
That's
It's
one I
not
haven't been
SEMA,
to.
but it's pretty awesome.
It's like SEMA
I'll
for
definitely go to that one.
non-business owners.
Yeah, what's
basically.
all new models coming basically.
Yeah.
So we've seen some cool stuff there, but not SEMA worthy.
I'm trying to think of one car that it was the C8 Corvette. I think they had I think it was a Z06 that they had there. I think. Is
So
that
you'll
right?
probably see the
Does that
ZR1 then
sound
this
right?
year.
Maybe.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Ethan, my brother-in-law, is hoping that there's at least one there because he's got a C7 Corvette. And he wants a C8, but he doesn't want to get rid of a C7
Yeah.
because I kind of agree. It's kind of like the last real Corvette, like the front engine, like the way
Yeah,
the
the
Corvettes were from the
traditional
yeah, the
Corvette.
traditional Corvette,
Yep.
and then they changed to like rear engine, more supercar stuff. So
My daughter loves Corvettes, but she doesn't want me to get one. I don't get it.
Because she wants one.
Well, she ain't getting one until she has her own job.
Hey, man. She's got the Lamborghini fund,
Oh, yeah.
Corvette fund.
Okay.
Same thing, man. Probably the same $400 that
Yeah, probably.
yeah, we have that conversation a lot about the C8 versus the C7 if it's like the last Corvette. And I agree with you. It took me a while because I was like, it's a Corvette, period, because they call it a Corvette. But I was having a conversation with a C7 kind of like the enthusiast. And I do get it. And you can't cam a C8 like a C7 is, and you don't get that crazy chop like American V8 sound. Now, I was going to say the Z06s you kind of do, but not at all. They kind of just sound like Ferraris now.
I'm okay with that.
I am too, for sure.
GR1 all day right here.
But it does go with the whole theme of like, it's the last real Corvette.
I get what they're saying, but props to Corvette for trying to level their game up,
Take
and
the
they
risk.
have. And
Yeah.
they want to. They don't want to compete with the Mustang,
Yeah.
which they don't really do anyway. But like they want to compete with Huracans and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's what they got to do.
It's definitely not a muscle car anymore, I don't think.
No, it's more exotic than muscle car now.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
I agree.
Have you
Yeah.
seen the new LaFerrari successor? Did you see the sound clip of it?
The F.
I
What
want
is
to say
it
it's like the
called?
F12.
No, that's an older Ferrari. It's the F80, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it's the F80. I think I saw a really quick scroll on Instagram at one
Not
point.
a
or
huge
something.
fan.
Not a huge fan. And there's the V6 motor.
I'm fine with that. My car is a V6.
Well, okay, yeah, but you have a GTR, like it's, max $300,000, $400,000 on the top end of a GTR. This is a LaFerrari successor. Holy Trinity.
Is it a LaFerrari successor? Because I
Supposed to
thought
be.
it was just a continuation of the F40, F50, and now we have an F80.
Pretty sure this is the new LaFerrari.
That's what I thought too, but
Yeah.
I don't know for sure.
Maybe
I
I'm
just-
wrong, but I thought it was supposed
Probably.
to be like, because the W1 just came out, the LaFerrari successor.
Oh, because you're thinking in the whole realm of the Trinity, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, because Porsche hasn't said what they got yet.
Probably
Yeah,
doesn't
somebody
have
tell us in
anything.
the comments. If we're
Yeah,
wrong.
Yeah,
definitely. I've heard that it's supposed to be the LaFerrari successor.
We'll
but-
post Jeremy's cell phone number right here.
Yeah, just
shoot him a
text me all
message.
the
Yeah,
links.
just text
Here's
him.
his address if you want to go by his house and talk about it.
But even if it's not, like, Ferraris have V12s. Like, that's like the thing. They're supposed to sound crazy. And I was fine with the V6. It's from the F1 car or whatever, something like
Hey,
that.
it's still going to sound cool, but it's not going to sound like a Ferrari.
Apparently, it doesn't sound good at all.
Really?
I saw a sound clip. It was
You
just.
saw a sound clip? You can see
I
sound.
saw a clip where they sound is highlighted, and it was on like a track, and all you could hear was the track.
Really?
It was like no sound at all. Now, I could have my sources wrong. It could be like a testing where they tried to muffle the exhaust so that people couldn't see it, but it was out of
Interesting.
like camo and anything like that. It was in its like red color. Couldn't hear it at all.
That's depressing.
Super quiet. So I hope that's not the case.
That's one thing that makes a Ferrari.
The sound, yeah.
Yeah, that's like the whole
Absolutely.
the high pitched, high revving, crazy hypercar sound.
Yeah.
Would you ever buy a Ferrari?
Not before I bought a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
That's definitely fair. Yeah, I think
Same.
Ferrari's the last on my list for sure.
Even after Porsche?
No,
Oh.
I wouldn't. To be honest, I wouldn't consider Porsche in that realm.
Really? Not even a GT2 RS.
No. I mean, yes, the performance is there. I don't
Do you like
think
Porsches? Are you a GT3 RS guy?
Yeah, I like the GT3 RS.
Okay.
I love them. I love them. Like, don't get me wrong, but I would take a 720S over it. I think.
He's a McLaren fanboy. For
I
sure.
dude,
And that's
I'm
fine. Yeah,
totally blind with McLaren. That's like my whole thing.
So this
Um,
GTR right here beat a McLaren 720S on the 8th mile drag strip.
Okay, listen.
I got invited to a Porsche event at a runway, and I was faster than every Porsche.
They're not straight line cars. They're not.
They told me
made
that,
for the curves.
They told me I wasn't going to be invited back, and I never have been.
Like thought it was a joke, and they actually just
Yeah,
never
I've
had you.
never been invited back to anything with those guys.
That's.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, I was faster than your electric car.
I can't believe you beat the Taycan though. That's actually kind of crazy.
I didn't beat it by much.
Yeah.
It was just based on mile per hour. That's all it was. But yeah, I was a little bit faster.
Yeah.
Those things are quick.
Yeah, they
I
are.
got to
And
do
they
a Porsche experience a couple years ago. My wife got for me for Christmas or my birthday. Went to Atlanta, did the Porsche experience. I got to
Nice.
drive the Porsche Turbo and a Taycan. Yeah, that
Nice.
Taycan's definitely different,
Yep.
but fast.
Yeah.
It
Yep.
throws you back pretty quick.
So they have a fake gearbox in there, right? Like it's supposed to feel like it has a transmission.
I don't remember. I just know I floored it.
Okay. Well, it was like obviously like the pro, like one of the only pros of an electric car is like the instant torque and not having to shift gears because you don't ever lose that speed in the middle of a race. But
Fall out of boost or anything.
yeah. But apparently I thought that the Taycan was like it had a fake transmission to make it feel like it shifted.
I know it had fake sounds that it could play.
Yeah.
You could
Yeah.
choose
Yeah.
different sounds. It was kind of cool. One
Yeah.
sounded like the Jetsons.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I can't make the sound. Like, I'm a fool of myself trying to make it, but you know the Jetsons.
The way their little
sound.
ship would sound.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
The Ioniq 5N is a really cool car that does that. And I never like really cared for that kind of thing, but the Ioniq 5N and the Kia EV6 GT are two really cool EVs that are making strides.
Anyway, moving on.
Hey, man.
Why are we talking about electric
I
cars?
don't know. We're at
Sorry, let's get off
JDC.
the electric cars then.
God, sorry, Elon. We only talk about Teslas in this garage.
Whatever. The Roadster, is it ever going to come out?
No.
Probably not, unfortunately. It'd be really cool, though.
I saw he went back. Well, maybe we shouldn't be talking about him in a bad light right now when this guy's about to become his
That's
partner.
not a bad light.
Is it?
I mean, we're
No.
just being honest, I guess. I'm sure he's heard worse.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, that guy getting hate, that doesn't exist.
Not really hating. Just,
Well, he went back on
not.
his thing where he said he was going to bring out the $25,000 Tesla and stuff, and now he says, well, that's not going to happen.
Did he?
Yep.
Oh, dang, well, that's a bummer.
Yep.
But I mean, when did he start talking about the Roadster? Was
I
that
don't know.
like,
How long has that one been in space, which was awesome, by the way.
he put the Roadster in space? I thought it was an S.
That was a Roadster with the little astronaut man sitting at the steering wheel.
Are you sure it's a Roadster?
100%.
Can you confirm or deny that?
I don't know.
If only we had these little things in our hands.
Oh, we do.
Yeah. It's literally floating around in space right now.
I know there's one in space, but
It's a Roadster.
I'm pretty sure it's a Model X. Model S.
Nope. How much you want to bet on it?
My life savings.
What?
Wow.
Not much.
$27 and some change.
Yeah, that's pretty much. Oh, shoot. It was a Roadster.
Yes, it was.
Oh man, you owe him $27.
Yeah, that's
And
a
some
lot,
change.
dude.
Well, you know what? He bought me gas on the way here.
I did buy you
I
gas.
have had some struggles today trying to get gas in my car.
Because your Blockbuster card. He has like a, what do you, was
What's
it,
it,
is
a
it
skin?
skin or is it a,
Yeah, it's just a little sticker. It goes
That's
on.
funny. I've
Yeah.
seen those. I've seen the Pokemon ones.
Yeah.
and- yeah.
but it's not working out for
Blockbuster.
him.
It works everywhere except for the 2 gas stations we've been to.
And you said yesterday.
Yeah, but it did work the second time today.
Oh, true. Yeah, you just had to go to a different one.
So
It's just you, dude.
stupid.
They don't want your money.
That's you.
You're supposed to be spending on JDC.
I do. I'm probably in the negative from something I've bought. I don't know. What's next for JDC? What are you doing? What's your immediate future? New. I mean, like what's the next thing? Like what's the next new thing you plan to do? Is it just going to be more titanium, or I mean, you already said that you want to expand and do your own parts and stuff.
Our own piping, fabricated
Yeah.
in-house
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
piping. Yeah, eventually, but not in this location.
Yeah.
So right now, we're trying to optimize the space we have and not run out of space yet.
It's really organized back there.
Very.
Yeah. We try to keep it as organized as we can
I
because
like
we
it.
know how it is. When we were in the house, I had the basement, which I bought that house pretty much for the basement, thinking that I could work out of it forever because it was just me. I didn't know if I was going to expand and get employees or anything like that. But we were using one bedroom upstairs was our room where Morgan would sit and make wire harnesses. In the same room, we had tables that I built that they would use for packing up orders, and then that was also a room for inventory storage and stuff. And it's a small room. It's like this right here. Like that's the room. Now it's a guest room. We had another bedroom that was my office. And me and Paul both had desks in there, and we were so cramped that now that's a nursery.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you. We're outgrowing this place faster than I want to, but we know from experience from working in the house, when you run out of space, you go up.
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
we have a little more room to go higher with a lot of the shelving and stuff we have in there. And then we have a lot of open wall space that we'll put up different racks and hang things if we need to in the future. Hoping to be here for at least another 3 years. I was hoping to get 5 years out of this, and then we'll kind of see where it goes from there because it's on the same property as my house, and that makes things complicated. If I sell the house, then it's not 2 separate plots of land. It's 1 plot of land, so I just
Right.
have to sell the garage and the house and then find a new house and a new shop. And So hopefully in the next 3 years, we'll kind of have a more clear vision of what's going to happen, because we'll need more space eventually.
How hard is it for you living here and working here? How hard is it to split the dad life and the JDC life?
Like go home from work.
Yeah, how do you do that?
It's not too bad. Whenever the twins were born, obviously I had to be at home a lot more to help out because they were a lot. They were both born 36 weeks, and so they just required a lot of attention. So, but
Like Jeremy.
yeah. It's really good, and I don't know. It's good and bad at the same time.
Yeah.
Like not as bad.
So if you ever need a minute to get away, where do you go?
I don't get away. Go out in the back and in the woods.
Just yell at a tree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got his cutting axe, his rage axe back there for sure.
There's a flannel shirt hanging on a hook right there. He just grabs. And
But it's really nice being here, like a 10-second walk from my house. If anything happens with the girls, like Chloe decided to. Chloe's one of my twin girls. She's almost 2. She decided to try and eat one of the little ant trap things that have the clear liquid in it.
Yeah.
But it attracts them, and they get the liquid and bring it back to their colony. It's supposed to kill them and stuff. Well, she decided to pick one up and eat it.
Yum.
And we called poison control. Like Sam called me. She's like, "Hey, Chloe just ate an ant trap." I was like, "Okay, crap. I'll be there in 5 seconds." So stuff like that is really good.
Yeah,
Ran out.
absolutely.
She called poison control, and she said it's pretty common. As long as she's not like, she may be sick to her stomach, she may throw up or stuff, but I washed her mouth out really good, and she was fine.
with the
It wasn't-
JDC titanium cleaner, is that what you use?
No, unfortunately, I just used some water. Some
well.
toothpaste, I think. Got some out of
Okay.
her mouth.
Yeah.
No, she's fine. But it's nice being back here, being able to go home really quick if I need to, if something happens.
Yeah, that's
But every now and
definitely a
then, there's sometimes when I'm focused trying to get something done, and then I get a call like, "Hey, can you help with this real quick?" I'm just like,
bonus. I can't open the peanut butter and you have to run it in. And,
Yeah, there's no like, oh, I'm at work. It's like,
Yeah.
babe, you're literally right there.
you can't, you
I
can't play
know,
hooky
yeah.
from your wife or anything.
Yeah.
right, yeah, nope, I'm always here.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Do you plan on staying in Chattanooga? Is that like the?
I
Most
think
of
he's
my-
coming to the Tri-Cities, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
my house, like the.
Yeah,
you can
basically.
turn my
yeah.
shop into.
We got all that land back there.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yep. All right, cool, man. I'm glad it's decided.
Awesome. Yeah. Let's sign here.
Yeah, for now, I think we'll probably stay in Chattanooga. Got a lot of family around, and my parents are going to be moving here hopefully at the end of this year.
Oh, cool.
They're in Alabama right now.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Roll Tide.
No.
Sorry.
They're about 3.5 hours from us. And
Okay.
they like to come and stay with us a lot, so it'd be a lot easier if they could come, or if they didn't have to come and stay in the house.
Yeah.
They were already here, and we can just, they can come over and eat dinner, or come over and see us, or we can go drop the girls off. And
Do you see JDC
Travel.
becoming your legacy and your girls run it one day or something
I think
like
so.
that? Yeah.
Yeah. Unless someone offers me a stupid amount of money,
Like
I
Elon's
can't.
going to do?
I mean, we'll see pretty soon, hopefully. Yeah. No, unless someone offered me a stupid amount of money, I would be really dumb to turn down. Then I do see it as just continue building, and my girls will eventually start polishing titanium and then work their way up.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
Hand it down to them if they want to. Yeah, they're. I think they're both going to be pretty cool car girls because their favorite car is Supra.
Okay.
Every car is a Supra right now. They come out here, Supra. What's this? Supra. Like, nope, it's Evo. It's a Corolla.
That's
Yeah,
funny.
they're cute.
Have they? So they have taken a liking to cars. You think that will be like a thing?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really like cars. They like toy cars. They like watching, like you guys sometimes on YouTube. I'll pull up.
That is our market right there.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'll pull up different shows like Jack Builds It, Devin and Mela, a lot of the pretty common ones that I watch when I have a chance. And they'll sit there and watch it. They like it. They say, Supra. Like, no, baby, that's an Evo. Yeah.
That's
But
awesome.
They love coming out here and looking at the cars. If at the end of the day, a lot of times Sam will bring them out here, and the first thing they say when they walk in the door is Supra, cars. Like, yeah, let's go see the cars. They're still there, and they like to sit in the cars, and they've got their little pink Lamborghini over there.
Yeah, I like that.
Very
They
nice.
love driving that.
JDC girls.
Fastest car in here, I think. Yeah.
That thing's scary quick. Like, it has remote control, and you can turn it. There's 3 speed settings. I won't drive on the fastest one because it will drift. It will do donuts in the driveway,
That's
and it
awesome.
scares
That's
them.
cool.
That's awesome.
Eventually, they'll be able to drive it themselves. They've already tried, and they just don't know what to do with the steering wheel. They
Right.
think it's, I'm driving a car.
That's how my wife
turn
drives.
this way. Yeah,
Oh, that's awesome.
they love the Crazy Cart too. They'll sit.
I keep
Oh,
looking
yeah.
at that thing. Like, we need one of those.
It's so much fun.
That's like a drifter thing, I guess.
Yeah, it's got a little lever you pull up, and it turns the rear wheels into caster wheels, and allows the back end to just spin however you want.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's cool.
it's pretty quick. It's upgraded, modded, bigger batteries, better wheels on it
Yeah.
for adults, I guess. Still kind of cramped up sitting on it, but
That's
Got to
okay.
K-swap it soon.
yeah.
So does your wife, does she have her own job that she does, or does she just kind of do JDC?
So she worked for her mom, who's an agent Allstate in Chattanooga.
Okay.
So she owns Allstate location, and she used to work with her selling insurance. And then whenever we had the kids, we decided it'd be better for her to stay at home and raise them, and not have to pay for daycare, because
Yeah.
daycare for two at once is very expensive.
Yes.
I believe it.
For just one is expensive, but two at once, and they don't give you discounts because you have two.
There's no BOGO for
No.
kids daycare.
No.
It's messed up, man.
Yeah, right.
So, but she, I think right now what she wants to do when the girls are in like full-time school is go back and work in like drawing a blank, ultrasound tech.
Oh, wow.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because she thought that was really cool, and she was going through pregnancy, had ultrasounds done,
Yeah.
just talking to them. It's like,
That is pretty cool.
Cool.
I don't know how that works at all. I mean,
I know that everything they point out on the screen all looks the same to me.
yeah, like this is how you tell the gender. It's like, oh yeah, that black line.
Yeah.
Versus this one, what's the? Yeah, it's a boy.
yeah.
It looks. I
I guess
don't
that's why you
get
go
it.
to school to
I
learn
guess,
all those
yeah.
things.
Yeah,
School's not overrated, apparently.
apparently not. Yeah.
For certain things.
Yeah, yeah.
I learned more from YouTube than I did college.
Right?
But-
YouTube certified mechanic.
Yep.
oh yeah, for sure.
It's the job done.
I think it'd be cool
Yes, it
to
is.
open a 4D ultrasound clinic place where she runs it and does the 4D ultra scans and stuff.
Everything's made of titanium.
I don't know about that. We'll see if it fit in there somewhere. But yeah, she had a 4D ultrasound, and she really liked it, and it was cool. And it was cool to see the baby 4D. But,
That's wild.
May do that, but down the road we'll see.
Yeah,
That'd be cool.
But she loves staying at home right now most of the time. The girls can be a lot, but
I believe it. Yeah,
yeah, I help her as much as I can.
that's awesome, man.
Yeah. Let's talk about something else now. PTSD.
Oh, God.
Well, does that wrap us up?
I don't want it to,
I know.
but I mean, there's only so much we can talk about.
Yeah, absolutely.
You
How
know,
long have we even been on here?
We're
14 hours and counting.
14
Wow,
hours.
that's only
Yeah,
felt like 30 minutes.
we're like an hour and 10 right now. I think
Yeah,
getting close to.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. It's a good one.
it is a good one.
We're honored to have you on as our first guest.
Absolutely.
It's great.
I hope this could
Appreciate
be inspiring to someone who's trying to start a business and know that everything starts in the garage somewhere, you know? So,
Yeah, sure.
and everything happens for a reason. I'm a firm believer in that too as well,
That is
for
very
sure.
true.
So,
Like, so many things.
It's crazy how everything just kind of lined up perfectly for you to be where you are now.
know.
Not that it didn't take
Along
hard
with
work.
Absolutely.
all the crazy
Yeah.
work. I'd work till 2 or 3 in the morning most of the times, and then go back to my full-time job and then do the
Wow.
same thing the next day. And
Yeah.
as it started growing, the time I had to spend on it to keep it up was growing. So that's why I went full-time.
Yeah.
I could support myself.
Well, it shows in your quality and the customer service and everything else that you guys provide is the best.
absolutely.
Try to be the best. It helps that I'm a perfectionist. It's also
I
bad
never
sometimes.
would have guessed it.
No. Yeah, OCD, perfectionist, QC, yeah, quality control.
Yep.
So I did it for a while, so I know
shows.
what to look for. And
It really shows, man. And, you know, sorry.
It's okay.
Like, I've always loved your stuff, you know, and I tell everybody about it, obviously. And, you know, I'll continue to keep getting your stuff and repping
Really
your
appreciate
brand.
it.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
it helps a whole lot. A lot of people that are real excited about the brand, and they share the excitement, and then it just snowballs. More and more people. Like, I don't even know how many affiliates we have now.
Yeah.
I don't know how many sponsored people we have. I kind of lost track of that, but a lot of people that love to support the brand because they know the quality of the stuff they're getting. And
It's an easy brand to support, for sure.
Absolutely, man. The stuff is just so cool and unique. You know, there's titanium, there's dress-up bolts, there's all these other things out there, but I don't know, man. There's just something about yours that just really stands out.
I think
And
it's
I
a lot.
guess it's the fabric softener that you put in when you're doing that. That's not a thing, guys. Like if you're still watching, all three of you, that's not a thing. He doesn't put fabric softener.
No, he
in.
does not. I mean, we don't know that for a fact.
We don't know that, but don't try it. Like, because we're probably gonna go home and hook up some car batteries and
Oh, 100%.
try this
Yeah.
now.
That's my next goal. Yeah.
Yeah. So next time you see Jeremy, and it's all white hair. It went wrong.
I was anodized.
But it's super soft now because we tried the fabric softener.
Exactly. Absolutely.
But yeah, man, thanks for having us come out and
Thank
know,
you.
just
Making the drive.
of course,
Absolutely.
man. It
Yeah,
was a
appreciate
good
it.
drive, except for the traffic a little bit,
Yeah.
but it was still fun.
At least you're in cool cars in traffic. Makes it better.
That's true. Yeah.
True.
Yeah. There's a lot of looks. And we're both rocking the JDC banner on there.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
Well,
this has been awesome.
absolutely. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Let us know in the comments what you want to see next. And go check this guy out. JDCustomsUSA.com. It'll be in the link in the bio.
Use our code.
HalfTorqued.
Yeah.
10% off.
And maybe if we get enough likes, he'll come out to our shop.
Sure.
Ooh.
He'll probably hate it though.
Invite me.
He will, yeah. I mean, after seeing this.
You're gonna hate it.
Yeah.
Bye.
Is this OSB? Ooh.
Why is there stuff on the floor? Like,
Yeah, I cleaned a lot up before you guys got here.
But if there's something on the website that you don't see, then I'm sure they can make it too. So that's another.
you know, hey,
incredible
before we end this, I gotta say, we talk about our buddy Shannon a lot, and you know Shannon.
Yeah.
He's got one of the very prettiest cars in our area, and loves your stuff.
Yeah.
So like, and when he came to you, he didn't have. I don't think you really did much for like his car until he started reaching out. So that's like a thing. Like people can reach out to you and say, "Hey, can you do this for me?"
Yeah, actually getting to the point where I'm getting really good at designing 3D renderings and stuff. Then we can 3D print it, test fit it, and then we can have it made in small batches. So
There you
like,
go.
Yeah.
Small batch parts are way more expensive because mass producing, you get your cost way down.
Right.
But it is something we can do.
Yeah.
Usually the limit is your wallet for titanium stuff. We have people ask us to make weird things sometimes. But as long as you're able to provide like measurements or a thread pitch or something like that, or at least an idea of what you want the product to look like.
Yeah.
As long as I can design it, then it could be done.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
That's awesome.
That's so
It is pretty cool.
So
Yep.
like if you have a car that John doesn't have on his website or something like that, and there's something you want, reach out, man.
We have
Absolutely.
people reach out with the most random cars all the time. Like, hey, can you make a badge for this? I'm like, can you send me a picture of what it looks like?
What's the most
Yes.
random thing you've been asked to make out of titanium? It doesn't have to be
I
PG.
can't say it on the mic, I don't think.
Really?
Now I have to know.
We'll talk about it after then. 'Cause I'm so curious. Oh, that's awesome.
Check out the HalfTorqued OnlyFans. We'll be talking about it there.
Maybe just displaying a few products.
Yeah, right. Oh, man.
Now I'm really curious. We got to go now, guys.
Yeah,
'cause we got to
absolutely.
go find out what this was.
Thank you guys for watching. We will see you in the next one.
See ya.